beautiful people, and welcome to episode 4 of the Poison Podcast. I am your host, Megan O'Neill, and on today's episode we are going to be talking about January mindset, what we need to do to stay hard, which is a quote by the David Goggins, amazing human being that he is. I'm going to discuss the collabs that are coming up, and our first guest is going to be in the Poison Podcast in early February, so stay tuned for that. I can't wait to announce it whenever that happens, but yeah. If you're joining me on YouTube, you will be able to see that I do have a couple of new face tattoos, and if you're joining me on Spotify, you'll not be able to see them. If you're only going to be on Instagram, I did upload a reaction video from my daddy, and I'll actually pop that in now.
You're crazy. Don't get any more of your face tattooed. Nut job. What's wrong with you, Megan? All the crap is going around the world and you pick that to be doing.
Yeah, so my daddy doesn't hold anything back, does he? I know people always look at me and be like, why are you so ruthless? And I'm like, this is my parent. My mummy had a completely different reaction. She didn't care, but like my daddy's from Belfast, and anybody with a parent from the city will know, like, they're ruthless. Like, they don't hold back. Like, they don't give a fuck. You know, they grew up in the Troubles. They literally have no fucks given. And if you have a wee granny from Belfast, you'll notice that she's absolutely ruthless. Grannies, what is it about grannies from Belfast? They're absolutely fucking hectic. They do not give a fuck. I don't think there's anything scarier than a wee granny coming out with a fucking brush shaft. Go and get around your own fucking door. Way around your own door, but you're at your own house. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're fucking dynamite. I know my wee granny was anyway. She was absolutely fucking bonkers. But listen, you can't. What is it they say? You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. So choose wisely, because we're going to be getting into that. We're going to be talking about mindset today, because I think when everybody hits January, they kind of be like, right, let's hit the gym, and then it wears off, doesn't it? Because you know what it is? We all get motivated, but motivation is the biggest liar. Motivation does not carry you through. I always talk about it. I'm like, motivation is a fucking liar. Motivation is a farce. Because you feel motivated and you feel great for one day, and then it wears off, and then you're going, where the fuck is motivation? Who's she? Motivation, never heard of her. Where is she? Fuck's sake. So to get you through, you need determination, you need discipline. You're not going to be given that. That's the beauty of these sorts of qualities and traits that a person can possess. You're not going to be given that. You have to get those on your own. And I think that's the beauty of it. It's also like meditation. I say to people, you know, people ask me how to meditate, and I'm like, I can't give you meditation. It is its own ruler. It is its own teacher, because you have to get it yourself. You have to earn these things yourself. And I think the beauty about having to earn things is that nobody can take them away from you, and they are in there. So whenever I'm talking about mindset, I really want to like focus here on, I have changed things up for myself now. I don't know how I'm viewed or whatever else, but I don't know how my mindset's been viewed, but I know myself that from last week, so not even January. I didn't wait to January, because this whole new year, new me is a pile of shit, to be quite honest. Because if you're not going to do the things that you need to do for yourself now, and you didn't do them last year, you're not going to do them now unless you make the changes. So it's all a pile of shit, right? You don't need another day to start brand new. You don't need to do things. You don't need to wait. Just do them now, because you're not owed tomorrow. You're not owed the next day. Sorry, the podcast got interrupted because I had a very special guest there, my son, and he's just handed me this. Like, he's 6. He's only turned 6 in August. Like, how good is that? Like, he is absolutely incredible at drawing Sonic, and that's Sonic.exe. If anybody that doesn't know, he's the corrupted version of Sonic. How amazing is this? Sorry about that interruption. We're getting back into it. So as I was saying, we're talking about mindset. I don't know if you know a guy called David Goggins. Now, I recently got a tattoo the other day at the same time as I got my face ones, and it says stay hard. Now, that is something that David got. That is his motto. He says stay hard after everything he does. So I was like, yeah, like, I'm listening to his motivation whenever I'm running, whenever I'm trying to really push past those walls, because I'm doing a lot of physical exercise and stuff, and I'm starting a new sport, so I kind of really need to dig deep. And this is why I want to talk about mindset, because I use David Goggins. I've bought his book now. It's on its way. I can't wait to read it. I want to build my mental resilience, and for me, David Goggins' Stay Hard is such a perfect example. Like, this man was like an SAS, was a Marine. Now, I don't know exactly what he was, but I will, whenever I read his book, I'll see what the crack is. But all I know is that he is absolutely fucking unstoppable, and it is inspiring to watch him and to listen to him, and look him up, you know, here on YouTube or Spotify or whatever you're on, because the way he speaks and the way his mindset is, like, he was a really overweight guy, and then he literally just went, fuck this, I'm changing. And for me, that's what 2024 is going to be all about. So like, for me, I have started these new disciplines in my life where I'm building up the run. So I started running. I'm starting to build it up. I'm starting to cut my time down in the mile. And then I jump straight into a freezing cold ice bath. Out of that, I go straight onto my Shakti mat. And that's, for me, that's the sort of routine now that I've built for myself that is now creating a lot of mental resilience, because it's very uncomfortable. The running in itself, obviously you start to hit those walls, and it is such a mind game. It's all a mind game. It's nearly very similar to hypnobirthing. So I hypnobirthed both of the kids, and it's all a mind game. Everything is in your mind. Any sport that I've sort of played, it's all in your mind. Powerlifting was a lot about your mindset as well. So like, I have worked on my mindset a lot over the years, and it's about putting into words to articulate to yourselves how I have done that to get to where I am today and where I need to be. And I think the biggest thing is, one, David Goggins talks about it a lot, it's just not giving a fuck what other people think. Like, that's fine. Like, we don't have to have the same goals. We don't have to be in the same sort of circles. You don't have to understand me. I don't need you to fucking understand. I don't care if you understand me. You don't need to understand anything I'm doing. All I need to know is that I am doing what I'm doing. David Goggins, people always talk about him and go, he's fucking mental, he's nuts, he's this, that and the other, but he's not. He's completely calculated. He knows what he's doing. He's completely stable. Like, his mindset is probably a lot more stable than the folks out there that are running about fucking clean relay. Like, David Goggins is an amazing inspiration to me, and that's why I got the tattoo Stay Hard, to remind myself to stay hard, because I think that whenever we forget how tough we are mentally, we do forget how tough we are mentally. And if you want to build mental resilience, you have to start doing the things that are uncomfortable. I fucking hate running. I hate running. And I listened to David Goggins and I went, do you know what, you're fucking right, mate, I ain't gonna do that. I fucking hate running. I hate the cold. And I love the Shakti mat, don't get me wrong. It's not very painful. It's like lying in a bed of nails. If anybody doesn't know what it is, it's like lying in a bed of sharp nails. So it is uncomfortable, but I do enjoy it. So I hate running. I've started running now, just to push my mind that little bit further. I've now started the cold ice baths. I fucking hate the cold. It goes against everything I want to do. I absolutely hate it, but I force myself to do it. And from doing that, I have noticed such a big difference in the other areas of my life, because I'm now able to go, I know I don't want to do that, but I'm going to do it. It's really important that I do that. I do the things I don't want to do. Like, stop all the bullshit. Like, I literally have to shut my mind off. I have to go, I'm not listening to you. Like, you're going to try and keep me comfortable because that's what our minds do, but I'm going to go, I'm not fucking listening to you anymore. Like, you're trying to keep me in my comfort zone. And if I want anything to happen in my life, I really need to step outside my comfort zone, and I cannot care what people think, and I cannot care what my body's telling me. Like, the human mind is capped. Like, we have such a cap in our mind. Our mind tries to keep us within this zone, and it's like we can push so much further past that zone that we don't even understand our potential. Our potential is completely uncapped. The human mind tries to cap us, but the human potential is completely uncapped. So our minds try to keep us safe, but if we want to get anywhere in life, we really need to push those boundaries and push past that. So January is the month that I am focusing on mindset. It's going to be the mindset January month. I am forcing myself to fucking do things that I do not want to do, just so that I can get them done and I can build resilience, because it's fine sitting in a comfort zone. It's fine. So if that's what you want to do, that's fine, but you're not going to go anywhere in life. You're not going to go anywhere in life if you keep doing the things that you're doing, the exact same things, just over and over again. You're doing the same routines. It fucking makes me sick. I look at people that are doing the same things every day, and I'm going, how can you do that? How can you not want more for yourself? It just does not make sense to me. I'm like, I have so many goals on my mind, and for so many years I believed people when they told me that I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do because I was, I had this or I had that, and I wasn't in the position, or I didn't have enough money, or I lived in Ireland, so I couldn't be, the model I wanted to be, and I couldn't go into the porn industry because people would criticize me, and I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that, and I always just go, why though? Why are you limiting me? I never understood, and I believed the people for so long. And when I turned 28, I was going, fuck this. I opened my own gym, people told me not to, and I went, fuck that, I'm not listening to this anymore. And from there, it's just snowballed. I've just started listening to my gut more, listening to what I want to do more, not giving a fuck what people think or say or believe, because who's to say they're more right than I'm right? This is the thing. Like, I know that people look at me and go, oh, you've got tattoos and you've got this and that and the other, and I used to have the dreadlocks, and people go, fuck, she's mental. But see, if you actually sat with me, you would realise that I'm literally probably the most stable person that I know right now. And I know exactly who I am, and people fear things that are different. That's where it comes from. It's all projection, and this is another reason why I don't take anything too serious what other people say. It's all projection. So coming up this year, February probably actually is going to be the month that we have our first guest on the Poison Podcast, and I cannot wait to fill that seat with a bum, because our first guest is going to be incredible. It's going to be out there. It's going to be somebody in the industry that I'm in, and we're going to talk about it. And we are going to be completely open about it. So if you have any questions, send them in. I'm really excited to have the guest on, because I think that it's going to open up a lot of questions, open up a lot of areas that we can discuss, and open up a lot of conversations about the industry, things that are myths, things that people don't understand about the industry. How can it work? It's also going to be a male, so it's not going to be two females. Obviously there's going to be me and a male. It's going to be a man coming in the industry, so you're going to get a male perspective on things as well, which is going to be interesting, because I have never really had a male perspective. You know, I work a lot with females and I know all of our perspectives, but it's going to be really fun and exciting to see what a male has to say about the industry. So moving on to our agony aunt section, which is always one of the favourite parts of the Poison Podcast, because I get to discuss what people have actually sent in and give them their answers on live time. So the only time I edit is if I give big long pauses, or I say because I always say it. So moving on. How did you get the balls to start an OF? I have been contemplating it for years, but afraid of family. So you have to ask yourself, what is it you're afraid of, okay? I understand completely that it's a taboo subject, and this is my whole ethos in life. I'm trying to change that it is that way for people. So this is why I'm so open about it, and I want to open the conversation up to people, because what is it you're afraid of? Is it afraid of, you know, it obviously it's case by case. I can't just say cut them off, tell them to go and fuck, whatever. Like, that could work for some people, but it's not going to work for everybody. So you have to obviously weigh everything up. You have to decide, why is it you want to do OF? Why is it you want to do OnlyFans? What is it that you're hoping that it opens up for you? Are you wanting to go into the industry, or are you just wanting to make a little bit of money? Because it is the sort of thing that if you get into it, you have to be willing to take the shit, and you have to be willing to go through with it, and you have to listen to the book. You don't have to listen to it, but it will come, and you can shut out from it, but like, you do need support to go through it. So I'm very lucky that I do have a very supportive family, but I'm going to be honest, if my family did not support me in that decision that I made to join it, I would go on ahead and do it. I am the sort of person though that doesn't need to be liked and doesn't need a lot of support and help. I have went through everything in my life on my own, and I've dealt with everything in my life on my own. I have very good supportive friends now, but my family, you know, if they decided they didn't want to support me, well then that's fine, see you later, bye. I can't live my life pretending I'm not somebody to keep other people comfortable, and this is when it comes to it. So I always knew that I wanted to go into the industry, so for me it was a very easy decision to make. I made that decision and I went, let's fuck it, this is what I'm going to do, because this is what I've always wanted to do. And I psychoanalyzed it and I healed myself and I went through therapy, because I knew that it would be thrown at me that I had daddy issues, or that I had X, Y and Z, that I was damaged, that, you know, whatever the misogynists are going to throw. And I had to make sure that I knew that that was not the case, so that if those comments did come and arise, and everything did arise, I would know that I'd be going, well, I know myself better than you're ever going to know me, and I know that's not the case. So it is very case by case. I just decided, fuck it, to do it. But I was a glamour model when I was 18, so I'd kind of stepped my foot in the pool a little bit. I was in the industry, the modelling industry, from I was 15, so I kind of knew a little bit of, you know, who to work with, who not to work with, that sort of thing. But the beauty of OnlyFans is that you are your own boss. You do it from the comfort of your own home or studios, or when you branch out, you go into different places and you collab with new girls, and all the girls are amazing. It is probably the best industry I've ever been in. It's the happiest I've ever been, because it was what I wanted to do. But if you have kids and you rely on your family and they're going to pull that away, that is abuse. That is abuse. But unfortunately, it does happen. And unfortunately, families are very dysfunctional, and things in our society are allowed to kind of happen, and we kind of normalize it. So, you know, you turn around and you go, I want to join OnlyFans, and your parents go, well, I'm not helping with the kids anymore, or I'm withdrawing this sort of love and support. That is abuse, but they're not going to see it like that. So you can't just turn around to them and go, well, you're fucking abusing me, because they're going to go, oh my God, no, I'm not. I just, you know, if you live with them, it's, oh, you live under my roof, it's under my rules, which is something my parents love to say to me. But like, if you don't actively need their support, then forget about their opinions. You know, it's different if they're giving you an allowance, or they're giving you money, or they're giving something that they can withdraw. Be prepared for that to happen. But what I would like to say is that if it is a path you genuinely want to follow, your parents should not stop you. They should support you no matter what. Obviously, they can have their concerns, and their concerns are valid, and they can voice their concerns. That is completely fine, but you have to know within yourself that it is something you want to do, that so that if these concerns do come up, you've already thought about them. You've already considered them. You know, I know with me, I completely considered every aspect, every area before I decided to make that jump. I know that I often say I just said fuck it and went for it, but there was a year of thinking because I had actually wanted to join it a year previous. So I sat on it for a year and then said at the end, fuck it, I'm going to do it. So I done it then. But it is the sort of thing that I completely understand that you're scared that what your family are going to say, and if they are going to start withdrawing support and love and respect and stuff like that. But what I will say is that you cannot live a lie, and you cannot live a life that isn't authentic to you, but to keep other people comfortable. Because unfortunately, you know, the way life is that your parents are probably going to pass before you, and then you're going to be left to go, you know, I wish I'd have done that. If you don't do what you want to do and you kind of follow the path of what they believe is best for you, there's going to be resentment. You know, if you want to sit down with them and tell them what you want to do, and if they don't respect it, you know, give them a little bit of time to come round to it. I didn't give my parents time, I didn't give my family time, I did it and then spoke to them after, because I was very confident that that's what I wanted to do, and if they did feel like they didn't want to speak to me anymore, I was fine with that. I had accepted that. But I've also lived a life where I haven't needed their support and their help for anything. I've done everything on my own. So therefore, you know, if they did want to withdraw that, then that was up to them. That would have been completely fine. So you have to be very, very mentally strong and resilient to go into that. And this is why I'm talking about mindset on the podcast today, because mindset's very important for where you want to be in life. You have to have a very strong mindset. So you have to grab yourself by the balls and do it. If it's something you want to do, just focus on why you want to do it, and if it's right for you, you will do it. And unfortunately, if your parents don't accept that, then that's up to them. It's the same way 10 years ago, and even still today, unfortunately, if you were gay or lesbian or homosexual in any way, some parents did disown their kids, and it's like that exact thing, you know, something that's taboo, the parents are very shunned, but that's their shame to carry. I want to push that point that if your parents can't accept you for who you are, then that's their shame to carry. That's their projection of what they believe. That doesn't have to be your reality. In fact, it's not your reality. You have to do for you what you want to do, and forget everybody else, including your parents and your family and your friends. As always, guys, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for watching the Poison Podcast. I am your host, Megan O'Neill. And remember that I am a brand ambassador for Iconic Bronze. Everybody always asks me what tan I'm wearing, and it is Iconic Bronze. As you can see here, I have lovely product placement, of course, and you can type in Megan20 to get money off. So I will see you guys next week.